this is 2026, I guess?
Unexplained phenomena are appearing all around the world. No warnings, no explanations, just footage that proves something extraordinary is already here.
What the hell is that?
At the moment of passing along the E44 highway in the United Arab Emirates, a motorist captured a breathtaking sunset on August 27, 2025, and shared the footage on Twitter, where it quickly went viral. The sun hung low amid a strikingly vibrant sky, casting deep oranges and reds that made the scene feel almost otherworldly. Experts explain the colors as the result of Rayleigh scattering, a natural process in which air molecules and tiny particles scatter shorter wavelengths of light, allowing longer red wavelengths to dominate and paint the sky in stunning warm hues. Underwater glow. After leaving for a fishing trip, the boat owner was lost in the dark when something very bizarre began to happen. At a very shallow depth underwater, he noticed a large, glowing mass in the dark ocean, lighting up the entire area around it, as if it were a sun or a realistic replica of one, with marine life moving around outside it and the water not boiling. It's safe to say this was merely just a light. However, the fact that this was something natural or man-made is something that shall remain a mystery. Before we start, hit like and subscribe to stay alert, because these strange moments from around the world weren't supposed to exist. Fiery opening. Up in the skies of Austin, Texas, an unknown sky phenomenon started occurring where a fiery type of opening started to develop soon after dark clouds had gathered. Within moments, what looked like a portal in the making to another dimension turned into something like a glowing yellow orb over the sky. This was taken by many as some biblical sign of something like early signs of the end of the world. After this dramatic sighting, some of the bystanders on the scene mentioned it had disappeared just as mysteriously as it had appeared. Burning water. While visiting the Mocha Island in Chile, a tourist captured a bizarre effect that shocked him. The seawater that was gushing out with pressure was somehow set ablaze. The phenomenon is believed to be natural according to experts, which is caused by the release of ethanol gases from underneath the water, which, on top, coming in contact with the surface, gets ignited. However, the cause of the fierce flame is something that remains unanswered. Red rift. Moments just before a heavy rainfall, a witness in the residential area of Erie, Pennsylvania, noticed something very odd in the sky. Among the rush of the wind, a bright red light was seen hidden among a very thin layer of cloud-like formation. After lasting only for a couple of seconds, it disappeared within the blink of an eye. The possibilities of this being some craft or a UFO were ruled out by experts who believe this to be something potentially like a portal opening.
Oh my God.
Lighted ray. Locals from Shemordin village, Russia, started to see a glowing light pillar that appeared out of the blue in the early hours of February 5th, 2026. The brighter glow was at the horizon, followed by an illuminating ray of light that followed through in the rest of the sky. This being the sun were the initial thoughts until the sun was realized to have been barely up. Some started to call it a divine sign, while others thought that this was some type of portal opening. The phenomenon that was taking place was ruled to be natural and one of its kind, so the government and authorities remained silent. Breaking ground? On 9th January, residents from a small neighborhood area in Centralia, Pennsylvania, started to notice smoke coming out from the ground. Shortly after, the ground was reported to have started to break down with a burning magma-type material that was seen burning underground. Due to the fear of what was happening, how far it could spread, and the toxic gases, the area was evacuated in record time. While this was largely thought to be caused by a natural event or a calamity, others started to blame the poor infrastructure. Breathing forest. Hikers walking through a dense forest in Quebec witnessed a strange natural phenomenon where the entire forest floor appeared to rise and fall as if the land itself was breathing on the 16th of October, 2018. The soil moved in slow waves, and the trees swayed along with the shifting ground, making the forest seem alive and pulsing beneath their feet. The hikers watched in amazement as the ground continued to move across a wide section of the woods. Later, the movement was explained as powerful winds pushing against the trees, causing their roots to lift sections of the loose soil. Even with the explanation, the sight of the breathing forest remained an unforgettable reminder of nature's unusual behavior. Many moons. On the eve of February 1st, 2026, locals from Russia's St. Petersburg briefly witnessed the sight of 4 that appeared at the time of the dusk. These moons were closely apart, with one being much brighter than the other. For logical explanations, many possibilities were considered, ranging from signs of the end of times to optical illusions to natural phenomena like paraselene. This sighting was said to have lasted only a little while, and, given the series of geopolitical events, many believed it was a divine sign of the end of the times. Bizarre cloud formation. Up in the skies of Richmond, VA, witnesses were alarmed by this very bizarre type of cloud formation that formed. Though it was pronounced to be like the Arcus cloud, the residents of that area stated to never have witnessed skies like this before their entire lives. This led to a wide range of speculations that everyone started drawing from being the result of cloud seeding and modification programs over America. Others would say that's just a crazy conspiracy. You decide. Bizarre sky effect?
What the is that?
I don't know.
Residents in Portland observed an unusual formation in the sky on the 16th of May, 2025. During the afternoon, a nearly perfect circular opening appeared in the cloud cover, with the sun positioned directly at its center, casting a faint and oddly muted glow. The dim light gave the scene an eerie atmosphere, drawing the attention of many people who paused to watch the strange display.
What the is that?
The unusual sight quickly sparked curiosity and speculation among witnesses. Specialists later noted that such formations can occur due to rare atmospheric conditions involving cloud structure and the scattering of sunlight, though the moment remained striking for those who saw it. Split sky. As this driver was passing through a countryside road, he came across a very strange phenomenon, which he immediately investigated by coming to a halt and starting to record. An invisible line that divided the sky in two was visible, where both sides were completely different, as it rained on one side while the other was dry. With many of the viewers skeptical, the source assured this was not editing, a made-up effect, or a filter, but a phenomenon that was completely real. After having driven a few meters, the car literally went from dry to rainy in seconds. Glowing anomalies.
Okay, I guess no idea what this is. 2026, I guess?
Up in the skies, somewhere in San Antonio, something strange appeared inside a cloud, and nobody knew what it was. Dozens of glowing lights suddenly illuminated the night sky above a quiet neighborhood, looking either like a swarm of incoming meteors or possibly unidentified aerial objects. Witnesses recorded the moment and described the lights as forming unusual patterns within the cloud itself. The brief display quickly drew attention online, with some suggesting it might have been a rare atmospheric event, while others speculated that the phenomenon could involve something far more unusual. Switzerland opening.
Look at the sky. Oh my god, it's like a whole, you see the light?
It's unreal. I've never seen clouds do that.
Glowing from inside.
By the outskirts of Zurich, locals witnessed a one-of-a-kind phenomenon that started in the sky. It started with a large gathering of clouds in a spiral manner, before deep inside the pocket, a bright, visible glow of light was seen.
Feels like the sky's opening.
I'm trying to get closer, hang on.
It's glowing from inside like a furnace.
Almost as if it was the summoning or opening of a gateway to another dimension, although nothing was seen coming from inside it, or even going into it. According to the witnesses, it almost seemed to have been created by natural causes, or at least was made to look like it was.
Look at that!
That's insane. It's like a hole in the
Is
sky.
it the sun coming through? It doesn't look right.
Fiery phenomenon.
What?
This video was posted on Twitter on the 3rd of October 2025, showing a very strange phenomenon from Cleveland, where all over the area and streets were mysteriously lit up in flames. Large fumes of smoke could be seen rising all over, leaving everyone there shocked and confused about the development. In the clip, it can be seen that the flame and smoke were both moving along with the flame, which, for some reason, didn't seem anything that would be panic-worthy. The exact cause of this incident has only been a thing of speculation, with no confirmation of what may have caused this.
No, I've never seen anything like this either. What is going on?
Stacking up ice. With the breaking of the ice, this very interesting sight was captured on a drone camera. It showed the moment when the winds that were pushing the pieces of broken ice off Lake Superior caused them to stack up at a point, creating this very scenic view. These solid pieces of ice, though, were gradually melting and looked much like shattered pieces of glass, which started to pique the attention and interest of all the social media users as they came across this clip. Burning sands. While narrowly passing across the Sahara Desert, a lone nomad encountered a strange and unsettling sight emerging from the sand. In the middle of the barren landscape was a large opening in the ground, and from within it, flames repeatedly burst upward before retreating into the depths. The fire flickered intensely, while the surrounding sand seemed to shift and slide toward the heat, as if being slowly drawn inward. The scene was quiet, yet powerful, giving the impression that the earth itself was releasing bursts of fire from below. With no clear source or explanation visible, the unusual phenomenon left many wondering whether it was caused by hidden gases underground or another rare natural occurrence. Red flashing sky. Just over a week ago, unusual flashes lit up the night sky over Albuquerque, startling residents who witnessed the clouds suddenly turning a deep red. The glow appeared to come from within the cloud formation itself, spreading across a large section of the horizon within seconds. Despite the dramatic illumination, there was no clear source seen from the ground. The strange event left many observers puzzled, with some attributing it to rare atmospheric activity, while others questioned the intensity and closeness of the phenomenon. With no official explanation provided, the footage continues to circulate online, leaving viewers to debate whether it was simply a natural occurrence or something more unusual. Reverse waterfall. During a visit to the Faroe Islands on June 9, 2024, a tourist witnessed an unusual sight along the coastline when a waterfall appeared to flow upward instead of falling toward the sea. The stream of water seemed to rise into the air as if gravity were reversed, creating a striking visual that puzzled onlookers. While strong coastal winds were initially suspected, the effect continued long enough to leave many observers confused. The strange scene quickly drew attention online, with some viewers proposing natural wind patterns as the cause, while others speculated about more unusual explanations for the gravity-defying appearance. Strange lights. A remote resident from Vancouver, Canada, stepped out of his property to investigate a strange lightning effect that suddenly started to occur. As the source filmed this from an elevated position, discovered this effect to be far different from the usual lightning effect that occurs. It is unclear, as neither source or experts were able to ascertain the cause of this being man-made, natural, or caused by extraterrestrials. Weird snow effect.
That's crazy. I mean, it's melting it now. Okay, there it is.
A father and a son recorded and shared this clip, showing a very weird way that freshly fallen snow was behaving when torched directly. Instead of melting into water, as expected, the snow reportedly darkened, formed charred spots, and appeared to resist immediate melting.
Manufactured snow. Manufactured ice.
In another clip, the recorder showed things happening around the ice in a frozen pond, where the ice would break down, creating pillars. Some viewers speculated that the snow might be artificial or contaminated, while others suggested natural explanations related to impurities, heat distribution, or the structure of compacted snow. The truth about it remains a mystery. Underground noise. This footage was filmed in an undisclosed location somewhere in China recently, where hundreds, if not thousands of mine workers started fleeing all of a sudden. According to the audio of the clip, a loud sound can be heard in the background, almost as if some ancient giant was awakened. Either that, or the area was forbidden by some curse, and was never meant to be discovered, let alone disturbed. With censorship that was put in effect, the exact source of the sound or what followed next is unclear. Sky discharge. Within the outskirts of Colorado, witnesses observed a strange sky phenomenon when a single, intense column of light appeared to descend from the clouds toward the ground. Unlike ordinary lightning, the bright vertical beam remained visible for several moments, appearing dense and unusually concentrated. While other flashes briefly illuminated the sky around it, this discharge stayed steady, forming what looked like a continuous connection between the sky and the earth. Those who saw it described the sight as both unusual and captivating. Some observers suggested it could be a rare plasma discharge or an uncommon atmospheric light event, though its compact and sustained appearance made it unlike the brief flashes people typically expect to see in the sky. Concentrated cloud formation. On the 6th of September, 2025, residents of Islamabad noticed an unusual concentration of towering cumulonimbus clouds forming over one part of the sky, accompanied by intense lightning. The dramatic scene quickly drew attention across the city, with many observers describing the cloud mass as strangely localized, producing a brief but powerful burst of rain in a confined area. Meteorologists explained the event as the result of shifting patterns and unstable atmospheric conditions. However, the striking appearance of the clouds sparked widespread discussion online, with some people suggesting more unusual explanations and linking the phenomenon to regional geological activity and the timing of a lunar eclipse observed around the same period. Glowing spot. The source of this footage was when he was heading out for a walk in his neighborhood in Edmonton, Canada, when he noticed something very weird. A very particular spot by the pedestrian footpath was mysteriously glowing, which was immediately after spotting started recorded before he started to investigate. Despite digging down to look for the source that looked like it was at a shallow depth, he couldn't find anything aside from just a pile of snow. While a chemical reaction was the second considered explanation, the same snow was not glowing after being displaced from that spot, and it couldn't come from the night sky, leaving the cause of this phenomenon a mystery. Glitch underwater. While looking around the area, the source of this clip noticed a very weird sight of things that he decided to film on camera. In the clip, what can be seen is a group of people who like to sit down together as if they were having a meal, but underwater. With the water around that area known to be super deep and the area far from any human civilization, this almost seemed like something of an optical illusion, which the source could neither sign off as the case nor investigate himself. Weird cloud effect.
Finally, something in Anaheim happens.
In the skies of Tupelo, Mississippi, locals witnessed a very bizarre cloud that descended from the sky on the 29th of January 2025. At the moment of dusk, a massive, mysterious cloud appeared in the sky, almost as if it were a giant craft releasing large volumes of thick smoke that looked like a large volume of water coming down. For the entire duration of its appearance, it didn't move, catching everyone's attention gradually. Some passed it off as a weird natural phenomenon. Others were convinced this was something far more serious.
What the is that?
Desert illusion. Imagine passing through the desert for hours and coming across what looks like a lake, but that's not the case here. A lone biker who was adventuring across the dunes of the Namibia desert thought he had come across a large lake until he got closer, only to find that it was ground made of a solid rocky foundation leveled smoothly that made it look something like a water body. This illusion is certainly the last thing a weary traveler would want to find after the restoration of hope. Red Sprite. Unusual flashes of red light were recorded in the upper atmosphere when a stargazer in Tibet captured a rare form of lightning known as a red sprite on the 27th of June, 2025. Unlike ordinary lightning effects that take place, these brief crimson bursts appear high above clouds and often last only fractions of a second. The striking phenomenon is rarely witnessed from the ground, making the footage particularly notable. A similar recording taken by another source aboard a commercial airliner flying over the Bay of Bengal also showed these flashes, highlighting how these high-altitude discharges differ dramatically from the typical lightning effect that is usually seen. Midnight disturbance.
We all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area.
A young woman in Washington, D.C. was awakened in the middle of the night by repeated flashes of light and loud, thunderous sounds echoing across the sky. Confused by the disturbance, she looked around the area trying to understand what was happening, and soon her neighbors began waking up and stepping outside as well. At first, many suspected a major failure at a nearby power station might be causing the flashes and noise, but that possibility was later ruled out. With the sky still unclear and no obvious source visible, the exact cause of the strange event remained a mystery. Shape-shifting light.
That is no drone! Why is it green?
The night sky of Toronto, Canada, was suddenly lit by this unknown green light on March 1st, 2026. This light signature was shape-shifting continuously throughout the duration of its sighting, turning from what looked like this was some green orb or UAP to perhaps the highlighted outline of a portal. Bystanders kept witnessing this the entire duration, trying to make sense out of this, which, since it was also soundless, made it impossible to identify its nature properly. While the possibilities of this being some natural phenomenon are largely believed, the case of some secret signaling is also believed by many to be a possibility.
What in the world am I watching, bruh?
Flashes in sky. A late-night walker in a park in New Jersey witnessed a series of unusual flashes suddenly appearing in the night sky. The bursts resembled a strange mix of lightning bolts or chaotic clashes between clouds, but they did not follow any normal lighting pattern. While scientists have yet to determine a clear explanation, some online observers speculate that the phenomenon could be linked to experimental cloud engineering or the residual effects of such interventions. Others suggest it might represent a rare and unexplained anomaly, giving the impression of a subtle glitch in the natural order of the sky. Series of UFOs. Another weird development that was seen in the skies of Canada, this time in Winnipeg, that started to leave many concerned. What they noticed was a series of flying saucers that were working together to create artificial clouds, either for cover or influencing an effect like cloud seeding. The cloud-like layering just below them made it hard to get a good look at what exactly was going on, especially with those unidentified flying objects that were making very slow but visible movements. All in one? A resident of the small Chinese town of Lijiang shared a clip dated the 5th of January 2025, capturing multiple unusual aerial phenomena occurring simultaneously. The footage first showed a large, bright meteor streaking across the sky, illuminating the surroundings. Shortly after, dozens of smaller glowing objects, possibly fragments of the meteor or tiny asteroid pieces, appeared to descend alongside it. While some bystanders considered it a rare, natural event, others speculated that the lights could be drones or mysterious floating orbs, leaving the true nature of the spectacle open to debate. Rounded clouds. An aerial view of Cordoba, Argentina, that was captured by a resident on August 22, 2025, showing bizarre cloud formations dominating the sky. The striking display was later identified as mammatus clouds, rare pouch-like protrusions that form beneath the anvils of towering cumulonimbus clouds. Unlike typical clouds, they develop from sinking air packed with ice and moisture, giving them a bulbous, almost eerie appearance. While not directly dangerous, mammatus clouds often signal severe atmospheric instability, creating a dramatic and unsettling spectacle that impresses viewers with the raw intensity of the sky. Colorful sky rays.
Oh no, my goodness. Mira, bro.
This video was taken on December 27th, 2024. The night sky over Tucson was illuminated by an unidentified flying object, projecting vibrant, colorful beams downward, drawing the attention of nearby onlookers. The object remained largely obscured by dense clouds, making it difficult to determine the exact source or nature of the lights.
Oh no, that's incredible. Look. Oh, whoa.
After the footage was shared on social media, reactions were divided. Some speculated it could be a UFO in the midst of an abduction, while others suggested it was an unusual atmospheric or optical phenomenon, leaving the true cause uncertain.
That's whoa. Okay.
Glowing clouds.
是啥现象？天上
Glowing clouds would be anyone's first opinion, but according to locals, this is something far more unusual. On September 5th, 2025, a resident in Shenzhen filmed several luminous formations drifting across the night sky, leaving residents puzzled. Experts later suggested the sight was a twilight phenomenon, which occurs when rocket exhaust particles and vapor freeze and expand in the upper atmosphere, and are illuminated by sunlight from beyond the horizon. This creates swirling, colorful clouds in shades of blue, green, pink, and white, often twisted into corkscrew shapes by high-altitude winds, producing a rare and mesmerizing display visible shortly after sunset or before sunrise.
像是云呀，谁能有没有人知道这是啥现象？
Rising fog. Video footage from Detroit captured an unusual formation developing in the sky on the 16th of November, 2024. The public speculated about its origin, but a report from the Immaculate Constellation presented at a recent congressional hearing suggested that a UAP may have caused the sudden fog formation or the abrupt appearance of clouds. The phenomenon raised concerns about potential manipulations in the atmosphere, highlighting effects that are seemingly random, unpredictable, and beyond human control. Flaring mystery. Late in the night, a man was heading out for a walk in Jakarta, Indonesia, when he noticed this unexplainable development. Hovering just over a foot from the ground was this randomly flaring signature that we might have only seen on a screensaver. What this was, or how it came into being, is a mystery no one knows, including the source who noticed it for several minutes, trying to figure it out before walking away. Blue light?
Look at the smoke over there.
Something must be happening in the city.
Footage recorded from a high-rise apartment in New York City captured a strange blue glow that suddenly appeared over the city on the 28th of December 2018. The intense light illuminated the sky and nearby buildings, accompanied by bright flashes, loud bursts, and vibrations that residents claimed they could feel. Early assumptions pointed toward a possible malfunction at a local power facility, but the city's electricity remained unaffected as the glow continued to spread across the skyline. As the clip circulated online, speculation grew, with some suggesting experimental technology or other unexplained causes. Despite the widespread attention, the exact nature of the event has never been fully clarified. Night sky hue.
This is a long streak across the sky here.
During an early morning walk before sunrise, a resident in Minnesota noticed an unusual glow spreading across the night sky. The colors shifted between purple, green, and pink, forming a soft, luminous band that looked nothing like a typical rainbow, especially since there had been no rain beforehand. The rare display left the observer puzzled as the hues slowly faded with the approaching daylight. Some later suggested the phenomenon might have been related to an aurora, where charged solar particles interact with Earth's atmosphere to produce colorful lights, but the unexpected timing and appearance left many witnesses uncertain about its true cause.
I ain't never seen nothing like that. No rainbow, nothing like that in the sky at night.
Sky grid light.
Look, are they moving?
Pedestrians in Tulsa witnessed a strange sight in the afternoon sky when ordinary-looking clouds suddenly began to glow. As the light intensified, a peculiar grid pattern appeared, formed by evenly spaced luminous squares stretching across part of the horizon. The unusual formation remained visible for only about 20 seconds before gradually fading away. Residents quickly shared videos and speculated about the cause online, but meteorologists did not provide an immediate explanation. Though some humorously referred to it as a glitch in reality, most observers considered it a rare and unexplained atmospheric display that left many puzzled by its brief appearance.
That's a grid. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Oh, it's gone.
Sparkling phenomenon. During a commercial flight passing through the skies above Russia, a passenger noticed a strange glowing presence outside the aircraft window on the 11th of November, 2025. The bright object appeared to hover at a similar altitude to the plane, shining intensely against the dark sky. Despite being relatively close, its shape and source were impossible to identify. The unusual sight lasted long enough to leave the passenger confused about what exactly was visible in the air, adding another puzzling observation to the growing list of unexplained phenomena occasionally reported by travelers at cruising altitude.